Okay, guys. This video I'm going to be showing you guys how to use different websites to check to go about your investment process. So, okay, let's start with the simplest one, Moneyweb. So with Moneyweb, you come through to the website. You go over there towards the top right corner. There's a search button. You click on it. It's gonna appear. You type in the company's name. So let's just say today. Which company? Let's look for simple businesses. Which ones can we use? Okay, let's just say ShopRite. Yeah, ShopRite. So you type shop, it's gonna come through. You click on the name, and it comes through. So over here in the middle, it shows you a 5-year graph of performance for ShopRite share price. So I clicked on the 5-year, so you can see that over 5 years, ShopRite has actually done nothing. So you can check the graph to see how the performance of the business has been. But obviously, the performance of the share price might not correlate with what is happening in the business. So on your right, you can check the market cap. So ShopRite right now it's worth about 75 billion rand. Its latest earnings per share were 6 rand 89. So you can interpret PE, forward PE, current PE of 18, dividend yield of 2.5%. Last day for last dividend for last day, return on equity and return on asset, and your net asset value, authorized share and issued shares. So here the most important things is probably the market cap, your dividend yield, beat on returns, and total issued shares, because Moneyweb tries to update these things. So as you're scrolling down, you get to peer comparison. So these are ShopRite's direct competitors mostly. That's what they'll show you in this website. So you'll find your Spar there, your Pick and Pay. Those are direct food retailers as well. So you'll go through them. This is just a short browse through the financials of ShopRite. So you can see that June 2019, meaning the financial year for ShopRite ends in June, you've got your revenue, which was 150 billion rands. So you need to know the kind of a size of a business, because here they just show the 3 zeros. So you would think that it's 150 million, but there's other zeros that are omitted due to the size of the business. So that's like last year's turnover for ShopRite was 150 billion. Operating profit, so this OP income, it means operating income, it was 7.7 billion. Attainable income, meaning net income, it was 3.4 billion. Then they go to cash generated per share. So those are your cash flows from operations, which was 5 rand 23. Then cash flows overall, they were 2.9 billion, meaning cash conversion was poor last year because profits were lower than cash flows. Then you'll get your operating profit margin, which was 5%. So that is just a summary of the income statement. This should be able to give you a view on the business margins, like mainly operating margins, which they gave you, net margins as well, cash flow margins as well, if you're interested in that. So you go to the balance sheet, they start with fixed assets. So you can see that last year in June, I usually use the annual figures. So you can see that by the end of the year last year, ShopRite had 21 billion of fixed assets, and on top of that, they had 34.7 billion of current assets. Then they had ordinary shareholders interest, which was 22 billion. So this is the shareholders equity. On top of that, you've got minority shareholders of 106 million. So if you take these numbers, which is your fixed assets plus your current asset, you get your total asset. If you subtract from that total asset your total liabilities and current liabilities, long-term liabilities and current liabilities, then you get back to your shareholders equity, which is reflected as ordinary shareholders interest on this other side. So other information, the last part, they kind of show you the payout ratio. So you can see that ShopRite paid 3 rand 19 cent in dividends, and it generated headline earnings per share. That's what I use. So they exclude once off items, and these are like cooperation uh, uh, earnings. So I use headline earnings. I don't really use EPS because they've got a lot of accounting problems there. But I mean, it's just my personal preference. Then they're gonna show you the net asset value. You can see that it was almost 40 rand at 39 rand 86. Your return on shareholders funds, which is return on equity, at 15%. Then return on total asset, which was about 7% around there. Then they give you a little bit of information about the company. So important dates: on the 4th of November 2020, you'll get the company's AGM. Final results estimated to be released on the 20th August 2020. So really, what they give you down here is just the next results of the business. So since they just released their interim results, the next results are the full year results, which are going to come on the 20th of August. These dates are not confirmed as yet, so they're just estimates. And if you scroll down, okay, before we go further down, if you check on your left, you've got latest SENS. So this is latest stock exchange news service. So this is the news uh, from the JSE, right? The news, corporate news that have to do with Shoprite specifically. You can see the dates and the times that they were released. Most recently, you can see that on the 26th of March, there was a director dealing. So this means that a director was either buying or selling shares of the company. Then the um, results, but you cannot view results through Moneyweb. You need to be subscribed. So I'll show you where to view results of the company. So when you come here on company information, they just summarize the nature of the business. What kind of a business is it? Where else is it listed? How can you get further information? Company's email, company's website, transfer secretary. They give you about major shareholders, which is probably very important: coronation and government employees pension fund, as well as Christo VSA, as you can see, and even some international asset managers like T Rowe Price. And lastly, last 10 directors dealings. So you can see what the directors have been doing. With have they been buying the business? Do they believe in the business, or they are selling the shares of the business? Obviously, depending on the scale or the size of the business, that's when you can tell. I mean, you can see that last year there was a director buying shares worth of 18 million. So two transactions of the same size went through at 175. So they've not sold these shares, meaning at the current share price they're actually running at a loss. And there's been a director who's been director of a subsidiary who was buying more shares. So that's how to use Moneyweb to analyze companies. So the next one that we'll go to is ShareNet. So ShareNet, I don't usually use it. I prefer share data. So mainly you just come here, it's going to show you the performance of the JSE all share and the top 40 for that day. So you can see that today the top 40 was up 2.7%.